It's Madden NFL 24, and it's presented by EA Sports. It's the Steelers and the Silver and Black on Monday Night Primetime.
Well, even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. Today, boy, what a matchup. Two NFL franchises with so much history, so much tradition, getting set to do battle here, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. With you from Vegas, I'm Brandon Gaudin. To my left is Charles Davis. CD, changing times with this Raiders organization. Gone after 9 years is Derek Carr, the franchise's all-time passing leader. And in steps Jimmy Garoppolo.
And what we know about Jimmy Garoppolo, what we've seen on display, is what I call breezy confidence. He's able to distribute the ball to a good runner and guys out wide, and teams adopt his attitude, and they play and perform at a high level for him.
And meanwhile, the visiting Steelers come into 2023 with something to prove. They finished above 500 at 9-8 last year, but wound up on the outside looking in terms of the playoff race.
And you and I both know how it is around Pittsburgh. Death taxes and the Steelers finish 500 or above. But they want to get beyond that. They want to get back to those days when the Steelers were playing deep into the playoffs for the chance to go to the Super Bowl. And they feel like this team is continuing to get better.
This taken in right around the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Steelers offense set for their first possession here, and it's Kenny Pickett who will lead the way, the second-year man, Charles, from Pitt.
Pickett didn't quite lead Pittsburgh to the promised land in his first season as the hometown kid and franchise quarterback, but he did impress once he got on the field. Winning 7 games helped keep the vaunted streak of non-losing seasons alive in the Steel City.
Pickett now to throw off the play fake. That's swung out wide to Harris. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Pickett. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Pickett. And that will be incomplete.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Now on 4th down, Presley Harvin on to punt for the Steelers. DeAndre Carter back deep. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. The Raiders offense heading out with their new man under center for 2023, the former Patriot, former 49er, Jimmy Garoppolo.
is another typical season for Jimmy G last year. When he was out there, he was excellent, leading the 49ers to 7 wins and throwing 4 times as many touchdowns as interceptions. Then the injury bug bit again. But Las Vegas, they're counting on him being able to do the exact same thing they saw in San Francisco, but avoiding injury while doing so.
And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Open man right side, Myers. And not able to get any further as he's taken down right there on the 30. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. Now the NFL's leading rusher a season ago, Josh Jacobs. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Back to throw, Pickett. Oh, and that is incomplete.
But they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
George Pickens, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. And that's going to be incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10.
Hey, what we got right now? Let's go do this thing, baby. We gotta be big time now.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Under a heavy rush. rush, and down he goes. Cole Holcomb proving too much there for the offensive line. He gets the sack. Blitz came there from the inside, and there just wasn't much resistance.
No, not at all. That means that defensively, they timed it up perfectly and matched up perfectly. They drew all the blockers to the other guys, left a free runner back to the quarterback, and you know what a free runner turns into?
What?
A free hitter.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 33 yards that time. The defense, they weren't fooled on that post route. They just couldn't make the play.
And the offense definitely tried to fool them because you saw the other route combinations, didn't you? Anything that they were running trying to draw attention away from the deep part of the field, but still had it covered, yet they were able to come up with a nice play.
Second quarter from Vegas, the homestanding Raiders with a football here, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. He short arms that one just a bit. It's low and incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Devontae Adams, his intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. So they decline the holding penalty and will take the down instead, as that leads us to 4th. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. That is caught. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
I'll tell you what, this is not for the faint of heart right here. 4th down, this is taking a big risk. But it's as good a play call as you can imagine. And the defense, just not able to come up with the stop they needed. And this is not just a 1st down, but a big play as well.
Here's Jacobs. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
One more time with Jacobs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. following the touchdown. Ready to kick it away is Carlson. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. And the Steelers set to take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs at their own 25-yard line. They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Concentration, so key on a ball like that. It's hard. I know how difficult it is, but that's a ball you've got to come up with. And instead, a big play is going to slip through their fingers, literally and figuratively.
Pickett sets up play action. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Off play action, Pickett. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
But Josh McDaniels, he had his mind made up on that one. He disagrees, and he'll throw the challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
Let's be perfect.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 48-yard line, here's the 2nd down and 6. Here's Pickett. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 33. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
To the air on first down with Pickett. He finds Pickens over the middle. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. Finding Pickens for another catch. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Pickett. He finds Robinson. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down. Pickett right back to the air again. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Pickett. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Harris. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good. So a conservative decision there, but it does put him on the board.
And I know the players hate it and the coaches hate it, but sometimes you just got to take the points when they're there. Sometimes a field goal is pretty darn good.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. Garoppolo on 1st down. Open man is Myers.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. 2 yards, good enough for 1st.
They got a completion there. That's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, very, hey, take 1 or 2 yards. We're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that one too wide and incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Now a 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. It's a gain of a couple on what should be the final carry of half number 1. So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. We just watched a solid first half from the 2022 rushing champ, Josh Jacobs. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Now 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. To the left side, there's Mayer.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On play action, now Garoppolo. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. A nice little juke to the 36-yard line. Stop there.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Garoppolo. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 26. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. And it's complete to Adams. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's another 1st down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and goal.
And that's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks, and you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows that throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
The kick by Carlson is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. All things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. Happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though. 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. This taken in at the goal line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs at their own 23. Off the play fake, here's Pickett. Sliding up, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
Las Vegas' pass rush was one of the weakest in the league last season, but don't tell that to Crosby. He earned Defensive Player of the Year votes with 12.5 sacks, nearly half of his team's total.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Back to throw, Pickett. That's down the field and caught by Freiermuth. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the first down.
Harris running straight ahead to about the 48-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it winds us down to the end of the third quarter. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a 2nd and 6. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. Room to maneuver at the 35. And finally down at the 32-yard line. That'll give them 8 that time. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 15-yard line. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Pickett will look to throw it here. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they were very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Pickett. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Now Pickett. And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The 4th down, they felt compelled to go for it, and he throws the INT.
Yeah, he knows that you can't take a sack there, so he had to try and force one in. Now, this might not be a throw he makes if we're in the 2nd quarter, but he had to take the chance there, and this one wound up being intercepted.
And now here come the Raiders. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10 at the 20. On play action, they'll throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
Injuries cost Watt 7 games last year, yet he still had 5.5 sacks, made his 5th Pro Bowl, and remains on a Hall of Fame pace. 77.5 career sacks, the 3rd most ever in a player's first 6 seasons.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. A give. It's Jacobs off the option. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll run again. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So here's Pickett and the Steelers trailing 10-3. A minute 46 to go. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw here. Pickett. That's to Freiermuth. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield. facing a one-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
The towels are waving. Steeler fans on their feet. It's third down. Here's Pickett. Pass taken in by his big tight end. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Yes, down by a touchdown. They needed a big play here quickly, and they got one. And now, plenty of time. No need to panic, but you do need to move quickly.
Final minute, one timeout remaining. 1st and 10. This is caught. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bullying his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. DeAndre Carter returning it. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
The football, and it's picked up by the Steelers, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football, but this couldn't be much worse, could it? No. This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a T for him. They're already in field goal range here late in the 4th now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker and just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing away.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They are in field goal range here already. How do you handle this situation, tie game?
In a perfect scenario, you want to find a way to get the ball to the proper spot for your field goal kicker. They always have preferences, and you want to bleed the clock down so that when you do kick it, as the ball's going through the post,
zeros.
The clock hits zeros.
On the give, this is Harris, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Now 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
At this stage, you've got to hustle, got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. So here we go. On now is the kicker, Chris Boswell. This to almost certainly win the football game. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here's 1st and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. He has Mayer complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll come up now on 2nd down. One final try now for Garoppolo. That one caught by Carter. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That was a long shot, but they did get one final chance to try to score and overcome this small deficit. No touchdown, though, Charles. And that brings this one to a close.
Yeah, I think Hope was wearing one jersey and Worry was wearing another on the other sideline as that final snap played out. Now, we've seen some incredible plays to win games before, but in this case, I think the distance was just a little bit too great for it to happen here.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brent.